What is going on, everybody? We are back. We are better than ever. I got Jim's ugly mug to the right of me. And even further than that, I got the king of Wake Forest, Seaver King, number 10 overall pick of the Washington Nationals in the 2024 MLB Draft. Fellas, how we feeling today?
Oh man, I'm good. I can watch that intro on repeat. You know why? The part where Bobby Witt gets struck out by my boy Ben Joyce, because you're always glazing Bobby, and Ben is just that
Bro,
dude. So
bro.
I could just watch it on loop all day.
I'm so happy we got primarily a shortstop in the building today, because it's just Jim is such he just loves watching guys pump out 105 miles an hour. Seaver, really quick, man, this show is about you, but Bobby Witt Jr. Do you have an opinion on Bobby Witt Jr.?
I mean, he's a pretty good player. It's pretty evident, I think.
That's all I've ever said.
He said pretty good. I mean, he didn't say great. Ben Joyce is great. What are you going to do when he comes on here in 2 weeks? Because that's when he's scheduled. Are you going to be nice? Or are you going to do what you're doing now?
I love that. It ain't nothing about Ben. It's everything about you acting like Bobby Witt Jr. is just Joe Schmo off the street. Like the man.
I mean, if he faced my boy Skeens, he'd strike out again. I'm just saying.
Listen, I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm talking to the king. I'm talking to the man himself. I got questions, man. It's fantasy football season. Seaver, are you involved in any fantasy football leagues this year?
I used to be. I think I'm taking this year off.
What happened?
I had a rough year last year. And it's just I'd rather watch college football, man. I just watch some pro football, especially now I'm gonna be playing on Sundays, every week. It's like
I get it. Last year I had Nick Chubb and the man's kneecap went backwards. So I mean I get it. We had a
he'll be back in the league when his team gets a team together or gets a league together. He's gonna have to get one.
No, for sure. Jim, how about you, man? You have any? I know you just had your draft. Jim, I have a question about your draft, sir. It's an old man draft. Seaver, you gonna love this. So I do my draft, right? It's obviously on the ESPN app. It's I pick up my last two picks. I pick up TJ Hawkinson and Tua Tagovailoa. Our team name is Hawk Tua. Shout out to him. Shout out to fans. Had to do it. But we got a nice little squad. It's all via cell phones. It's all via apps. Then I'm like, Jim, how's your squad looking? And he sends me like a giant ass chart of like all these written picks. And I'm like, dude, what are you like?
They're stickers. And bro, we hold it at a bar. We do it in person. You show up, you drop your cash on the table. That way you're held accountable, all that good stuff. Yeah. And we pick in person. And you saw me flexing the diamond ring that you get when you win because I won last year. And of course I get my draft grade back and it's an A+, and I'm projected to win again because that's what I do.
And who does the draft grade? Some random drunk guy in
the ESPN Fantasy. You just said it. No, that's who the league is still through. Just because we did it in person, it's submitted still through ESPN, and it came back and said I'm gonna win again. That league pays out about $4,000, Mike. So quit hating.
Kind of old man stuff to me, as is all.
And by the way, that's one of 3 leagues. The other 2 we draft online, so calm down.
Oh, dude, I'm in too many leagues, bro. I accidentally, before we even get into, I have to have a therapy session. I accidentally thought I was doing a couple mock drafts before it, and it ended up I was doing live drafts. So, and then once you're in it, you're in it. You can't leave. So I'm like, I got like 30 leagues right now. I thought they were all mock drafts, and I'm like, man, whatever. But let's get into it, man. I have a huge question for you. I saw this interview on draft night. They were asking you about what position you really play, and you said whatever you need. So, I mean, man, can you kind of take me through how you get to that point? Like, we're not just talking about, hey, man, this is high school ball. We got a shortstop that throws 80. Yeah, we could put him on the mound here and there. I mean, you're everywhere. It feels like you're everywhere. Jim was telling me a story about you playing center not too long ago. Can you kind of take me through, why that is and how you pride yourself on that?
Yeah, I think, going into Wake, they told me I wouldn't play shortstop. And that was, a tough pill to swallow at the time. But, I wanted to win. So I was willing to take that sacrifice. And I started at second. And then, we had a young outfield. And they, decided to throw me out there. And, I started, 26 games in center field for the first time in my life. Yeah. And then, started 40 games at third. So, I didn't play third till I got to college. So it's just a little bit of everything. I'm willing to, take on challenges, whatever they may be, and, do my best and try to become the best at each position.
Yeah, I mean, when you have the athletic ability that you do, it gives you the ability to play everywhere. And obviously, you're a ball hawk. And Mike's, just so you know, when it comes to shortstop, Merrick Houston, his teammate, he was on and off the bench not too long ago. I call him Captain America. This dude, I don't know if he takes days off. He goes from playing for Wake to playing for Team USA to playing in the Cape, and then he's right back at Wake. And I said, "Do you take any days off?" And he said, "For as long as I get to play this game, I'm gonna play it every day." So it's like it's hard. So that's who Seaver was compete with, a guy that just plays baseball 365 days a year.
No, for sure, for sure. And again, man, like I commend it because it's Seaver, man. Like that's crazy. I hope you know that. Like you are not a normal human. Like me, man. I'm left field till I die, bro. And I'm left-handed. So I remember one time this guy put me at third. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, man, I'm cooked. I'm cooked. This is over. We got like 3 errors in the first inning. Like, kids are watching that, and it's like, man, bro, like being a multi-dimensional ball player is going to keep you in this league for, man, as long as you want, to be completely honest. Like the utility guys don't get enough love, and especially when the utility guy is also a top 10 pick. I mean, come on, what are we even talking about? Kid's a dog.
Well, that's the thing. When you can hit, they're gonna find somewhere for you. But let's get into draft day. Seaver, Mike talking about priding himself on things. I pride myself on knowing ball well, and I did my mock draft, and I pretty much locked down the first round, predicting everybody except you, and in a good way. You exceeded the projections. Most people as well, had you going around 15 or so. You end up going 10, which is awesome, being a top 10 pick, especially the Nationals organization. So talk me through that day. Who were you with? What was that moment like? And especially, knowing your name came off the board as a 10th pick.
Yeah. All my family was there, and then a couple people from Wingate were there. So that was just good to have that support system with me. But yeah, I went into draft day thinking the same thing. I thought 12 to the Red Sox was kind of where it was going to be. Then I show up, and my agent calls me, 5 minutes before the draft, and he goes, "All right, you got to deal with the Nationals at 10. All these other teams are going to pass on you. So if you get past the Nationals, you're going to be there for a while." And I was like, all right, like, so be it. So I just kind of enjoyed it, especially seeing, Kurtz and Burns go off that early. Kind of shocked everybody too. So I was excited to see them, and I kind of knew I was next there. And then didn't get a call before the 10th pick. So I was just like, all right, if I get picked here, I get picked. Like, I was kind of going in blind, and it happened. And it was just kind of it was a rush of emotions. Can't really put into words. I kind of blacked out, but, enjoyed that night, and, was waiting for the call to, when to report, and kind of got the ball rolling. So,
Mike, as many shows as we do, think about what he said, though. I mean, we got some guys who, man, they know the night before, right? Like, even if it ain't just the first pick. And then we got some guys who, he reminds me of what Dolander said, right? When he got picked at number 9, but he said his agent literally said, you may go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're just going to have to wait. Like,
yeah.
And it's just crazy because, man, I'm built with anxiety, Seaver. So when you say you don't get the call and you'll just find out, in a minute, like, I'd be so stressed. And, it doesn't always go the way it did for you, right? We've had guys come on here and say that they've even been called and said they were going to get picked, and then they didn't. And then it passed on, like you said, it went pick. So for you, I'm sure it was anxiety filled. The one thing I'll say is you said you were with your family. You were talking about Chase and Nick. Dude, Mike, they could have had one hell of a party at Wake Forest. 3 guys in the top 10. Like, I don't know, Mike, you know baseball as well as I know anybody. When was the last time you could say 3 guys came from a college team and got picked in the top 10?
In the top,
has it happened?
I mean, not in recent history and again, there's probably some kid watching this right now that has the chart up that's saying Mike doesn't know ball. But like 2 for sure, 3 in the top, top 15, I think you can have a conversation. The last time I think you would even think of something that close is, the 2023 LSU team.
And that was 1 and 2, but then after that, you didn't have anybody for a while. I think Ty Floyd was 34th, so that was your next one. So you had a big drop off.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, again, could be wrong. Could have a kid, typing it up right now. Strike me down. But yeah, no, I can't for a while remember anything like that.
But I gotta ask you, Seaver, it's a crazy thing, man. Just yesterday, it felt like you were at Wingate. We had you come on when you first got to Wake, and then here you are, with the Nationals organization. Like for me, it felt like it, flew by. For you, does it feel like the same thing? Does it feel like just yesterday you were at Wingate?
Yeah, we're here in Kannapolis, and I played here twice before this week, and didn't start either game when I played there.
Yeah.
So actually getting to play here is like, I remember I was a freshman at Wingate playing here. So it's kind of surreal, and being able to kind of travel to these places that I've traveled and didn't really get a chance to play at my freshman year, which it's really fun. So yeah, it's definitely been in a blink of an eye. It's gone past for sure. But I'm just trying to live in the moment and enjoy my
Mm.
time so I can.
Yeah. So in your time with Fredericksburg, 50 ABs, batting 300, no surprise, doing what you do. Like you said, you've been playing some thirds. So talk about your experience so far. Playing single A ball, obviously having success swinging it, and obviously defensively. Just talk about your time so far.
Yeah, it's been good. I've known that I'm going to play shortstop every single day and hit second or third, so that's been good. Just kind of have that, that plan that I can put into play every single day, and just the travel aspect and being able to play every day, 6 days a week. I haven't really got to do that yet.
Mm.
So I had a rough night last night, but guess what? I get to do it again today. So it's been really good just to get my feet wet and be a part of the pro ball experience.
For sure, for sure. And when you look at the pro ball experience, I think the start is always so weird. I would say, especially when you talk to different guys around the league, especially when you're a later round pick. It's basically like, hey, we'll see you when we feel like it. You know what I mean? We got
Mhm.
Mr. Number 10 right here, so we got him off the plane pretty early. But no, man. In all seriousness, you look at the NFL draft, you look at the NBA draft. It's all off season stuff. And then, a couple months go by and you're meeting with the teams in Major League Baseball. Guys are mid-season right now. I mean, you got CJ Abrams, you got Trey Lipscomb, you got James Wood, all the boys. They're fighting right now. They're in a dogfight with the New York Yankees right now, Jim, I believe, if I'm
Yeah,
not
I
mistaken.
mean, I actually paid because with there being such a short time left, the ML League Pass is like dirt cheap right now versus the ridiculous expense. And I wanted to watch that Yankees game yesterday, especially with Cruz playing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I watched the Nationals put the screws to the Yankees.
Yeah, no, for sure. But Steven, my question for you is what are those conversations like with the organization, and who are you meeting with, right off the bat? Because obviously, whether it's single A, double A, triple A, all the way to the majors, everybody's already fighting for contention right now. We're just trying to get the year over with. When you're just starting in rookie ball, what are you up to? What does your day-to-day operations look like?
Yeah, it was like 2 days after, or maybe a day after the draft. They said, we want you to come sign in DC. So I spent, 3 days up there, just seeing the city and getting to experience that part, signing there, hitting BP with the major league team, like all that, enjoying that stuff. And then, that Sunday I got shipped to Florida for, instructs or whatever it may was, and basically practice for 3 weeks and trying to get back into shape. Played a couple of games, and then they sat me and Caleb Lumavita down and said, we're going to send you up for the rest of the year. And so I got up here to Fredericksburg, and when I'm 15 games in, something like that. And
Mhm.
yeah, it's definitely a lot different. You wake up. When I was in Florida, it was 6:30. Get to the field every day, and then you're done by 11. And you're staying in a hotel for 8 hours with nothing to do, no car. So it was like it was a little boring. But now here, you got the whole morning to yourself, sleep in, do whatever, and then you get to the field at 2, 3, and prepare and play, and then do it all over again the next day. So it's definitely a little bit of an adjustment period, but it is what it is.
Mike, them folks in Fredericksburg. I mean, you had Cruz and Dugas, you had Lipscomb, obviously we had on here,
Yeah.
and then you got Seaver. Like, I mean, they got some serious talent coming through there that you get to watch in the Nationals organization. That not everybody has the luxury. And hey, I tell you, you talk about the old man thing. Ain't nothing better than going and sitting at some A ball and get some $2 beers and watching some fire baseball players. I'm just saying.
No, for sure. And we talk about that. We've talked to Trey about it, what it's like playing now with James Wood and CJ. But for you, man, I mean, you've seen him firsthand playing at Wake Forest, going up against Cruz, going up against all these different cats. to be able to be a part of the same organization as them. And I was doing some scouting reports on King. I'm trying to see what's going on. I call him Oswaldo Cabrera if he could hit. That's really where I'm at with it, because the kid plays anywhere you want him. So to know that you have so many guys at so many positions right now that played at an elite level, and you yourself being able to be wherever, multi-dimensional infielder, outfielder. I mean, man, just take me through what it feels like to know that you're a part of this kind of franchise altering system.
Yeah, I think when you go into a new organization, you got a bunch of young guys, and maybe the major league team's not up to standards, and that they're even young up there right now. So it's like they're not afraid to push people through, and we got a lot of young guys that can play. So it's super exciting that maybe we'll have that core that like the Yankees had that went for 10, 12 years, that maybe we could have that here in Washington. So it's just super it's fun to look forward to. But at the end of the day, we all got to put in the work and do our job and produce, and then whatever happens, happens.
For sure.
Like, they're a couple of years from competing, bro. When you look at, like, we just talking about what they're doing against the Yankees, and you look at these young guys that we watched in college, man, I'll put my name on it. I'll die on that hill. These dudes in a couple of years will be competing with anybody.
No, yeah, and I think that's really what it comes down to. Like I'm a prospect fiend. I'm always looking in the pipelines to see, like, hey man, who are the Cubs? Who could we trade for? Who needs a reliever right now?
The Cubs ain't never got nobody, bro. So why you even bring them up?
I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
Bro, I saw you could get Cardinals tickets for $1 today. So I'm not.
I did. Section 120. I was literally just about to say, I know you're not talking, because we roll deep no matter what.
Bro, I used to go to Cardinals games and be 55,000 strong, and now I hear they can't even get nobody in there. You can get tickets for $1. I'm fixing to ride up to St. Louis.
Man, come on, bro. I mean, Steve, you see this, bro? You see what I deal with, man?
The Cubs are a rival. It's your fault for starting a show with somebody who's a fan of the rival team. Bro, y'all got 1 championship and you trying to live on it.
3. But anyways, before I was rudely interrupted by a man who can't even sell a ticket for $1. I think, man, when you really look at it from that perspective of the prospects, and you can't bank on prospects, obviously. You're not going to say, oh man, we got all these 19-year-olds and we're going to win the World Series in 5 years. But that's just from my opinion. From your opinion, man, I mean, what have you seen thus far throughout the organization with your own eyes? These are guys you see every single day. What's the difference been in that transition from Wake Forest baseball to the pro level?
Yeah, I think it's not, you have to kind of know what makes you go and what makes you the player you are. There's not going to be a time where you're going to be able to go one-on-one with the hitting coach and try to change your swing in an hour. Like, you got to know what you got to do. You got to know what works. You got to be able to talk through your stuff, and you kind of have to know what kind of player you are. You can't really go in there blind. So that's been a little bit of a difference where there's not a lot of, hey, me and you are going to go hit in the cage, just us. You can't really do that now. Now it's got to be, you're always technically supervised, but everybody kind of knows what they're talking about. So it's kind of knowing what information to take, what information to give, and what makes you work in the best way. So.
And when you talk about, like, guys who are helping you adjust, guys who are trying to get you in the right places, in the right positions to not only be able to teach you these things, but for you to be able to just continue doing that work by yourself, who's been someone for you that you've been able to pick the brain of and just ask as many questions to thus far?
Yeah, I think, obviously our hitting director, Tommy's been good. I've seen him, 3 times since I've been down here. He was in Florida with us, and he's up here in Kannapolis right now. And it's just, he'll say just little things, and I'll be like, all right, that clicks whenever I'm, searching for something in my swing and haven't quite found the cue, and then he'll just flip it and it'll click in my mind. So it's just little things like that, and just be able to communicate that, hey, that works for me. And now he has that in the back of his head, like, all right, see if he's struggling, I just need to give him this cue kind of thing. So, just the hands-on experience has been really good.
For sure. Now, we got a couple random baseball questions for you that I think are pretty interesting. The first one I want to start with, Jim actually put it on there, and I was very excited about it. Shohei Ohtani's bobblehead line. I don't know if you got a chance to see it. It was blocks long. Man,
I put a mile on there. I really want to know the distance of that line. Like,
it was long, bro. It was long. It was insane. And he had his. It was a. I don't know if you saw it, Seaver. It was a. It was a little. It was him and his dog. What's his dog's name, Jim? You know his dog's name.
Keep telling the story. I'll
Whatever. I'll tell you what, Seaver. He was doing that game during the off season. Like, oh, by the way, my dog's name has something to do with the team I'm going to sign with. So I was going on Twitter saying his dog's name was Wrigley.
Decoy.
It wasn't Wrigley Field.
And Decoy also threw out the first pitch too.
Man, but no, man. I mean, you see such a long line like that for such a prestigious player, for someone who obviously has done so much for the game. How excited are you about Seaver King bobblehead night one day in Washington? Do you think your line will beat Shohei Ohtani's?
No, I'm not a Shohei Ohtani. I mean, that'd be a cool experience, but it definitely doesn't.
What line would you stand in? Think about growing up. Whoever your favorite player was, who would you be the most likely have sat in a line for to get a bobblehead?
Man, I think, funny enough, it was probably Russell Wilson back in the day.
He opened the door for you, didn't he, Mike? God, leave that one alone.
Let me tell you, I got the shirt on right now. It's Justin Fields, baby. Come on, baby.
Here's the question I got for you, Mike. I watched this first pitch. Decoy runs the first pitch from the mound to home plate to Shohei. Cutest thing ever, whatever. Did he teach his dog to do that, or he pay somebody a lot of money to do that to perfection? That's my question for you.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even see that, so I have no idea. But
I don't think there's any way he taught that. He paid somebody, but it works. The fans had to have loved it.
Maybe I mean, shit. I mean, you got $700 million. I'd imagine you could train your dog to do pretty much anything. You could pay the dog to take you to the bank and put the money in for you.
But I'll say this, Mike. I didn't want to cut you off when you were talking about Seaver working with guys in the organization. I'll give you an idea. So I'm in a LSU group text where, man, they watch anything and everything. And so when I sent them the initial Cruz AB video and then the second one, they were breaking it down and they noticed, the differences in his stance and his approach and everything. They said it really looked nothing like he did. And you think about the success he had at LSU, but to the point of what you are talking about, Mike, the adjustments they made, even still with as good as he was, and he didn't have the same approach that he did before. So it just shows those tweaks that you make when you get those professional hitting coaches. No,
for sure. And, to kind of keep on that for just a second, because Jim did remind me, I did have one more thing for you. Man, when you talk about being able to be anywhere on the field, obviously I know those guys at MLB Network were making jokes. Can you catch? Can you pitch? But we got a lot of different questions over here. And I think for me, man, when it comes to your routine, how does that change whether you're going to be in center field, whether you're going to be at short or third? Is there any difference in your preparation on how you go about your day? Because obviously when you're going in the box, you're going in the box. But when you're going into, hey, man, we got a sharpshooter coming up, batting third, I'm playing in the hot corner versus I'm going to be in center field today.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would pride, infield work over everything else because I feel like for me, at least in the outfield, I can just go play it and not really worry about anything, just see the ball and go get it and communicate, and that's kind of it. But in the infield, it's a constant battle to get better every single day with my footwork and, all the things. So I think, at Wake, it would be, all right, if I'm playing center, I'd take 3 rounds in the infield and take the last round in the outfield. If I'm playing third, I'm going to take all my rounds in the infield. It's just little things like that that kind of changed it. But ever since being here and in the national organization, I've taken every rep at shortstop, so I haven't had to worry about it quite yet. But hopefully down the road, as I move up or whatever it may be, if I have to change it, I have to change it. I'm willing to do that. So.
Most definitely. Now we're gonna keep it real quick, just to piss off old man Jim. I'm not trying to sway your answer here, but when we talk about infield, outfield, man, MVP in the American League right now, Aaron Judge, Bobby Witt Jr. Who you picking today, King?
Man, as much as it pains me, but hitting 60 home runs is not easy. So I have to go with Judge.
Yeah, Bobby's on his way. Oh, he said Judge. Oh, I'm sorry.
And that's why, Mike, I put that clip out of Aaron Judge robbing that home run off the wall where he covered an amazing, man, you talk about that, where those strides come in handy. I was like, hey man, my dude can play defense too. He don't just hit bombs.
No, for sure. And first of all, for a man who's what do we at with Judge? 6'7"? Is he 6'7" right now?
Mm-hmm.
For a man that big to be able to move the way he did on a vertical angle, it amazed me the way he covered that ground. But man, to me, Bobby's definitely making history. Just saying, just making.
What did you sticking on the Yankees, Mike? What did you think of that back to back the other night? That was a reality of what happens when you have those three dudes in a row.
Yeah, I'll do you one better. That's the reality when Stanton actually gives a shit about what he's doing, and we can say that because Seaver plays on the Nationals. But when we got some Yankees guys in here, I'll be a little more tight-lipped. But that guy 9 times out of 10 just shows up and collects a check. But
who did we ask the question to? I told you about it. So Seaver, we were talking about. Do you remember the movie Little Big League? Did you watch that?
I think so. It sounds
So basically, even though Ken Griffey Jr. was a loved player in Major League Baseball, in the movie they made him the villain that was so good, and he actually cost the feel good story. He took the ball off the wall and cost them the game. And so we were talking about who, even if they're not hated, who would be the villain in a movie today. And it feels like because Aaron Judge plays for the Yankees, he would have to be that guy, right?
Yeah, but like you just look at him, he's a nice guy though.
Dude, he's
like.
in
Ken Griffey was, but Ken Griffey's in Paw Patrol.
Like,
Ken Griffey wasn't a bad guy. Like you got to have somebody villainous. I don't know. I mean, it's hard. Most of these guys who are good are nice. So I don't know who would play in that villain role.
I mean, maybe Bryce.
That was the other one I said, Mike. So I guess I wasn't bad in thinking that.
I said Seaver. I said Freddie Freeman just because like he has the smile. He has that businessman face. Like he could be the bad guy. He's a nice guy, so like you wouldn't even think of it.
Austin Riley came on here and told us Freddie Freeman was everything to him, nicest dude ever, and then you're gonna try to put Freddie as a villain. Look at you.
Just said Aaron Judge, bro. Aaron Judge is on Paw Patrol, bro. He's hooking up with Rubble.
I didn't even know that. I don't watch Paw Patrol like you,
bro. Me and my nephew get down on Paw Patrol. Don't ever disrespect Paw Patrol ever. This is supposed to be a serious interview, dog. Don't get me into it, man. I'll tell you. Sky and Rubble, bro. They get this episode sponsored by Paw Patrol.
I'm proud of you because you did take it serious today. You have no cuss words today. Last episode I counted just for fun. You cussed 11 times. You're at 0 today. I'm so proud of you.
I worked late last night. I don't got the energy.
I mean, the maturity from one episode to the other is beautiful. But I'm sure with Brock Wilken and Blake Burke on deck, you're gonna tee it up.
Man, but I do want to talk to you about something that wasn't on our list really quick before I send it off to the gym. This one for me, man, is just complete nonsense. 2 a.m. nonsense that I think in my head while I'm just writing notes and stuff. Man, you get announced. You're the number 10 overall pick. You're going to the Washington Nationals. But who announces that pick? We see in the NFL, we got Sketch, we got other celebrities announcing picks. If you could get your name called, drafted by the Washington Nationals, number 10 overall by any celebrity or athlete, who would it be?
I mean, I think just because he's from DC, it would have to be probably Kevin Durant, probably.
Ooh, I like
Cupcake. No way.
You can't say that at the gym. He's the biggest Russell Westbrook fan in the world.
Oh my God, this show is over, man. It's over like Westbrook's career is.
2-time champ, brother.
I wish my man would. Hey, Mike, I need my dude to retire because he's a shell of himself, and it just
look what you did. Look what you did, Seaver. Look what you did.
Look, I don't even have his mural on the wall anymore. It's sitting over there in the corner. I've retired it.
Open the can.
Moving on. This or that this time, Seaver, isn't going to be your typical questions. It's going to be minor league mascot edition. Give you 2 options. You choose one or the other based upon what you just like better. I've been collecting these hats, going to these minor league games, seeing in off the bench guests, and I think the minor league hats and logos are like the coolest thing there is. And so I decided to start doing this. So I wanted to see what you would pick. So first one, the Storm Chasers or the River Bandits?
I would have to say the Storm Chasers. One of my boys on the team. So.
All right, the Fisher Cats or the Sea Dogs?
Sea Dogs are cool.
All right, this one I got my new hat, Mike. I love the whole butter up theme, bro. Biscuits or the rubber ducks?
Biscuits, easy.
No, I was rocking with I did after last week's episode. I did look up the rubber ducks because I was unfamiliar with their game. It's pretty tough, bro.
Our first guest played for the Rubber Ducks. That's who Nikhazy was playing for before he moved up to AAA.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm like, all right, well, let's check it out. So I checked it out. My girl said she wouldn't walk down the street with me if I had a rubber duck hat on. But I was like, that's fine. Like, I'll do my own thing. That's cool.
The best hat I got, and I didn't get it autographed, Mike. It's actually sitting right there. I don't want to leave the screen to go get it. But in Montgomery, they have the Montgomery gray socks.
Okay.
When they do that, anyway, so it's black with white stripes. It's got the gray socks. Anyway, I didn't get that signed because I actually want to wear that. I like that a lot, but apparently they only wear it like specialty, like one time a year or something. All right, River Dogs or Rail Riders?
River Dogs is a good thing.
All right, here's where we get to the two hard ones, in my opinion. Yard goats or mud hens?
Mud hens.
I love it. I got my yard goats hat. It is pretty fresh, though. Trash pandas or rumble ponies?
Like trash pandas are cool.
I think you gotta go.
All right, so then you go with the winners of the big boys. Would you go mud hens or trash pandas?
Trash pandas. I feel like trash pandas is elite.
It is elite, and I sent a message to Simo. I doubt he'll do it for me. He's probably busy, Mike. But I said, look, they're doing a jersey giveaway night or whatever. I'm like, I'm gonna need one of those. I need you to cop me one. I need the trash panda logo. I got. It was the first MLB hat I got. You remember when we had Houston Harding on here? He signed it, but yeah, and I just used 12 of them right there. I mean, I feel like for the most part, they're all. I don't know, man. One day, Mike. You know, everybody has their bucket list. They want to go see every stadium. No, I want a row of hats. I want every MLB hat signed by a player from each team.
You gonna need help with that one, brother. They make a new one like every fucking year, bro.
Well, then I'll keep up with the times, bro.
I guess.
Here's the real question before I turn it over to you and let you close this thing. Are you gonna meet me? I got 6 tickets. I bought them up because nobody knows when Paul Skeens is pitching, but me. And now there's other people that know, but the tickets are only going, Mike, $45 behind home plate on the night he's going to pitch against the Nationals and Dylan Cruz. And I got 6 of them. Are you coming?
You know, man, I don't think Paul wants to see me right now.
He probably don't.
I don't know if you heard, but the Chicago Cubs put up 41 runs in 3 days. See,
what he didn't think, Seaver, he bad talked the Pirates and Skeens. And I screenshot it and sent it to Paul. So now he probably ain't gonna show up to Pros and Joe's.
I ain't bad mouth. All I said was belt to ass. That was it. That was it. Like, man, it was what a freaking day. I mean, bro, top 7. We're down 3-10. When I tell you the storybook season of the Chicago Cubs is underway, we win 14-10. What in the haberdashery hemoglobin's going on the north side right now, baby? Come on, Steve.
Mike, he got hit with the trifecta yesterday. You talk bad about him. His team lost, and there was that false report that Libby broke up with him on the internet. My man took the trifecta hit yesterday.
That was weird. That was mad weird. And that's the one thing I will say. I don't get into that. I don't like Paul's relationship is Paul's relationship. I think I've seen some professional media guys talk about Livy Dunn and like his relationship with her. I think it's mad weird because if someone was tweeting about my girl, like, I'm sorry, we throwing dukes. Like, that's what it is.
Well,
like,
I'll mess with her. Jackson would take pictures with her at the gymnastics event.
And that's so different.
And I would sit it and be like, yo, you better watch your girl.
That's so different. You know what I mean? Like, that's like they were talking about. I ain't even going to get into it.
Don't even do it.
I don't even entertain it.
All right. Hey, what we learned from this lesson, Seaver, don't date some girl who's going to upstage you in the media, okay?
I mean,
right.
Happens. But, you know, Seaver, if Rihanna hits your line, you know, man, you gotta walk, baby. You gotta walk. I'll be mad if you don't. I'll text you if you don't. I'll get into it. I'll be like, man, I knew he wasn't king like that. But man, listen, before we get out of here, Jim, do you have anything else you want to ask the number 10 pick?
Man, king of swag. I'm ready to see him move on up.
I already see it, man. I already see the chain. He's just hanging out casually on a Wednesday, on a Tuesday. What is today? Thursday.
Hey, look. You know what? I'm sure he's got an answer similar to our boy said. what was your favorite gear? How did it get asked at the Little League World Series? What was your favorite article of clothing? Dang, Mike, you got to know what I'm talking about. The kid asked, now I'm going mind blank on home. So Jazz, he asked Jazz what his favorite piece of equipment was. And he said the chain around his neck.
Yeah. No, for sure.
That's a Seaver answer right there.
Nah. I'm not a big. I wear the same chains all the time. I'm not like Tommy or those guys where I got a fat one. But
see,
I got a couple.
You seem like a slide mate guy.
Well, he's always got the headband on too. He does always have the different headpiece on though.
No man.
Yeah. I think because Junk kind of hit me up. And I got like a couple DC ones. I got a Georgia flag one. So I just kind of mix and match them every day.
Maybe I should start wearing those, Mike, because I got bad hair.
Nah, you shouldn't. You shouldn't wear those. I'm gonna get out. We're gonna get out of here before anything else happens today. But we appreciate you guys for listening. We appreciate you guys for being here. This episode is always sponsored by Schnook. This episode is always brought to you by In Off the Bench Podcast and Give Us a Shot Network. So make sure you give us a like, give us a follow on all social media platforms. In Off the Bench or GUAS. Again, Seaver, we appreciate you being here, man. This is Seaver King of the Washington Nationals. Shortstop, third baseman, center fielder. Honestly, whatever you want, bro. He's going to be phenomenal in the show. You can just plug him in wherever you want. But, man, until next week, man, we'll check you guys out later. Make sure you hit that follow button if you haven't already. Until then, peace. Go Cubs, baby.
Give them a shot to do what?